Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Anakin's hologram in Ahsoka Part 7 has left fans with a few big questions, notably based on his haircut and outfit. Why did he stop recording them so early on in the Clone Wars? Ahsoka mentioned this was the last one. Presumably Anakin wanted to help Ahsoka during the start of her training. But another question is that given Ahsoka knows Luke, as we see in the book of Boba Fett, has she shown him these holograms? Did Luke use them at his academy? In the first installment of the Legends series Dark Nest, Book 1 The Joiner King, Luke sees a hologram of Anakin during the Clone Wars, alongside Padme as they try to fix R2. But what about in canon? We don't know if Luke has seen holograms of his father during the Clone Wars, and at this time, he's only seen his father as Darth Vader, and then as a Force ghost. But at this stage, I'm sure he would love to see him at his peak. This could be a great opportunity for a canon scene where Ahsoka asks Luke if he wants to see what his dad was like in his prime. There is also the consideration that Anakin's Force Ghost can manifest in a plethora of ways. He does so to Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds, and we know for a fact in canon books such as Shadow of the Sith, Luke has interacted with Anakin's Force Ghost, but has he given him a full-on lesson the same way Anakin did for Ahsoka, enabling him to become a better master and helping him on his path? Has he done for Ahsoka an iteration for his son? But this hologram was a lovely touch, just like in Star Wars Rebels, and it's a way for Ahsoka to feel close to her master, and in a way stay grounded as she is. We know, according to rumours, there's going to be more Anakin in the next episode, in the finale, and while I very much doubt Luke is going to appear, they should use the idea of Ahsoka showing Luke some holograms, and if they don't want to do it on screen, why not in a novel? But I think on screen would be great, in Ahsoka Season 2, Dave's film, or Mando Season 4. And you would think, if Ahsoka spent time with Luke, he's got a ton of questions about his father. Sure, he can reach out in the Force to his Force Ghost, Obi-Wan told him quite a bit as well. He would want the perspective of Anakin's Padawan, the stories of many battles during the Clone Wars, his temperament, and what he was like as a master. It could also be a way for Luke to learn about his mother, because Ahsoka was close to Padme. Luke in canon between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, over a decade before the events of this show, travelled the galaxy learning about the history of the Jedi, the days of the Republic and their eventual fall. This is actually referenced much later in the timeline in The Last Jedi, when he tells Rey that at the height of their power they allowed Darth Sidious to rise. But earlier on, way before he becomes a hermit when he's still got his temple, before Ben Solo turns to the dark side, he has learned a bit about his dad, but mostly about his time as Darth Vader, because the Empire suppressed many records of Anakin's former life. Remember that only a select few knew that Anakin and Vader were the same person, but no database or legend could paint a picture of his life the way Ahsoka can. She has hours of stories to tell Luke, and better yet, she has holograms to back those up, personal ones. I hope she shows him at some stage. Now I want to talk about a scene from Ahsoka that was so badass. When Shin tries to slice Ezra, he uses a technique called Force Stasis, also known as Force Freeze or Force Stop. We've seen this in many Disney Star Wars projects. In Obi-Wan Kenobi, Vader uses it on Reva and Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, and in The Rise of Skywalker, Kylo Ren uses it against Rey, and Rey against Kylo. But I thought this one was the most symbolic, two Bo-Katan Jedi fighting against one another. And so moving on, Anthony Daniels has given some information about his appearance in the most recent episode. I've made it no secret just how excited I got seeing 3PO representing Leia Organa in Ahsoka Part 7, hearing Anthony Daniels' voice, and the fact he's still portraying the character after 46 years. And did you know, as far as live action is concerned, this is his 12th appearance. Apart from featuring in all three trilogies, he's appeared in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, Obi-Wan Kenobi very briefly, and now Ahsoka. And over the last 2 days, fans have been asking whether it was just Anthony's voice or if Mr. Daniels was in the suit. Well, now in a heartfelt post on Twitter, he's revealed he was on the set. He praises the cast and crew and the brief experience he got on the set of The Volume. He also leaves a heartwarming tribute to Carrie Fisher by expressing his gratitude that his protocol droid was always there for the beloved princess. Through thick and thin, and even later during the time of the sequel trilogy, he sticks by Leia when she leaves the New Republic to form the Resistance. After The Rise of Skywalker back in 2019, it was uncertain when we were next going to see 3PO. He's appeared here and there across projects, but I still want to know what is going on with the droid story. A project that was announced back in 2020 that we still have no update on. Dave Filoni did the right thing having him fill in for Leia instead of going the clunky CG or deepfake route. It respects Carrie's legacy and gave us a chance to see our multilingual, odds-predicting golden protocol droid again. We learn that Leia's role is the head of the Defense Council, but not including her in the episode leaves her role in the New Republic a bit more mysterious, and in the future, if they do decide to bring her in, I can see it being in Dave Filoni's Mandalorian movie, as long as they don't overuse her. But it must be said, if they're going to do the New Republic stuff for the long run, they are going to have to bring in the main original trilogy characters, whether they use stand-ins with CG de-aging, as they did for Luke in Mando and Book of Boba, whether it's recasting like Alden Ehrenreich in Solo. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. And so now guys, we're going to talk once again about Shin. We talk a lot on this channel about her and her master Baylan. But I've been thinking since yesterday, why would Baylan have thrown her away last minute? And then it occurred to me, keeping in line with his protective nature, it may be more than the fact he sensed she was on a different path. It could have been a tease for the dark nature of the power that's calling him. Across their time in Peridia, this call may have gotten stronger, and so Baylan may be finally deciphering what it is, and it could be something so dark and so intense that he distanced himself from Shin temporarily in order to protect her from it. Perhaps Baylan realizes that she's vulnerable, she's often so full of fear, and the Dark Force could sense that. And so Baylan in the next episode might confront it himself, one-to-one, before then returning to Shin, and Shin may still be part of his plans. This is something we should consider. And on the subject of Padawan Hati, Ivana Sakno, in an interview shared on Star Wars social media, which was recorded before the strikes, has revealed what it was like doing lightsaber fights on set against Natasha Sabine Wren. She was so focused from the word go. The dedication these actors have put into their roles truly shows for what's been a phenomenal series so far. Shin particularly, as I mentioned in my last video, is going to be in the spotlight for the finale, and I'm dying to see what's in store for her. Is she going to stay by Thrawn's side as a mercenary, or is she going to join the Ghost Crew and Ahsoka? And better yet, tying it into the earlier part of this video, could she be sent to Luke to train and then teach at his academy? And so finally, my dear friends, big spoiler for the final episode, but there is one fight that's already been spoiled for part 8, and Morgan Elsbeth actress Diana Leona Santo revealed this a few weeks ago. In an interview with Dagobah Dispatch, she told us there's going to be a rematch between Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth, and because it's not happened yet, and I have covered this before, it's going to be in the last episode. This was the one that took days to film. Maybe since their fight on Corvus, Morgan Elsbeth is more powerful, she's got the Night Mothers on her side, more Night Troopers, who by the way, do not explode like Marok when you hit them, they just seem normal. Although you never know, they might resurrect. But it sounds as though Morgan Elsbeth is now stronger. Is she going to finally meet her end at the hands of Ahsoka Tano though? Some really awesome stuff to look forward to. But with that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.